This guy, Todd, has been vilified by the governor in New Jersey Transit. Is anyone really surprised at some of the allegations, though, that he's made about their incompetence and safety violations?
Just look at the newspaper every single day. The place is a mess. You can also look at the fact that we now know from other articles with other employees that people that are reporting things to the federal government, their letters are being redacted, excised, they're not allowed to speak to them. There is a culture of a lack of transparency there. The powers that be that aren't doing their job, and in my opinion, conveniently don't care about doing the right job, they will find a way to pretextually make sure you're gone. It's the kill the messenger.
So does Phil Murphy come in and fix this? He's got a new appointment. He's got his Department of Transportation head.
I sure hope so. I mean, I think anyone that's not grossly negligent would have to go in there and try to clean this up to some degree.
So, Mike, why don't we hear more of this from Phil Murphy? I mean, you got an appointment that's nice. He wants to talk about minimum wage and legal pot. And you heard the guy. Todd Barretta said it. I mean, lives are literally at risk.
This is obviously a complicated problem. He's just taking his time to look and see exactly what the problems are, and hopefully this lawsuit will bear a lot of light on a very bad situation.
We're going to see. Thanks, guys. Why is everything so over-the-top politically charged?
If someone's going to speak at a school, it's not part of the everyday curriculum. So a parent should have a choice to say whether or not they want their child involved or not. I don't think it's a political thing. It's, you know, it's their right, if it's not part of the regular curriculum, to say what a child should be exposed to.
Hey, Laura, do you think if this was one of President Obama's daughters, it would have garnered the same kind of outrage?
Probably not the same, because I don't think we've ever seen a first family that's more divisive than this one. But having said that, I mean, I think it's perfectly fine that Ivanka Trump was there. I think it was great that she was talking about something useful, like STEM technology and girls' education as opposed to politics. But I do think as a parent that I'd probably want to know if someone like that was coming to speak with my kids, regardless what the topic was. Even if it was just for me to prep my kids who it was, even if it was to prep my kids in a positive way. What would you tell them?
Why would they need to be prepped for the first daughter coming in?
Prep just to know who it is, who she is, what she represents, what it's about, why it might be controversial.
Would you pull your kid out of class?
I would not pull my kid out of class unless she was there to talk about politics.
No, I don't think I would pull my kids out of class, but that doesn't mean the other people don't have the right to do it.
That's right.
Bob, what do you think? Are we just overthinking everything these days?
It's too much. She was not sending a political message. She was being an ambassador in her position as a child to the president. It's an honor to have somebody like that, even despite the fact that I believe the president creates a great degree of vitriol, and I understand why the parents are the way they are. We're taking it too far and politicizing every single thing in this country, and it needs to stop.
See, I think this Connecticut high school is lucky to get this kind of attention. I mean, she only has so much time. To have somebody of that stature come in, it can only be helpful, even if you don't agree.
Absolutely.
I think that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Leave it there. Thank you. You know, that's pretty objective. Math is math.
I don't like those calculations you use because nobody mentioned what his property tax was. So I think that's misleading of how it's going to benefit New Jersey. I'm also suspicious of government. This has been President Trump's big push, and we don't even know it's his push. We don't even know what his tax returns look like, so we can evaluate, does he have an interest in passing this?
Well, you're certainly right that math is math, but if you take that same person, that same character we were talking about who's making $70,000 a year, you know, if that person did itemize their deductions, if that person is paying alimony, if that person is paying student loans, if that person was adopting a child, that would seriously, this new tax bill would seriously impact that. So I think we need to know, yeah, it's going to help some people, but it's not going to help everybody.
Are we suffering from just the elite 1% talking heads talking down to everybody?
Look, why can't we have a hearing on it so this man can get there with his calculator and clear up the gobbledygook in the public? Because Bill, you know politics.
I suspect.
You know politics.
You know what
just happened? If it was so good, why wouldn't they tell the world?
We just cleared it up. We have a calculator. There's math. There's a bill. You know, I'm beginning to think if Trump walked on water, you'd all make fun of him for not being able to swim. All right. We'll leave it there. Thanks, guys. Very challenging story to even wrap your head around. Laura, I mean, first thing comes to mind, father discovers his daughter like this?
Yeah, this is as horrific as it could get. But it sounds like at this point, all signs point to it just being a terrible tragedy.
Well, I mean, pit bulls get this terrible reputation, and there are a lot of people out there that will defend pit bulls. I have to tell you, I think they're great dogs, and it does sometimes come down to the owner, but there's no indication of whether or not she had a tough relationship with these dogs. There's a Facebook post of her cuddling the dog. Just it makes you wonder, do some people just go to this and they're naive about how vicious some of these animals can be?
What concerns me about this case, Bill, I don't know why my homicide prosecutor instincts are telling me to slow down, get timelines, get computer records, get phones. There's been a lot of misinformation. I want to make sure. I know that they took body scans. I want to make sure there wasn't a primary attack prior to the dog bites.
Yeah.
Something about this is just a little wobbly in my mind right now.
I know, as a lawyer, one of the things I always look for is signs that people know their animals are, in fact, vicious. And, you know, people really do underestimate the kind of damage that dogs like pit bulls can do.
Physically, it's why they're trained to fight. I mean, it's
That's
the
right.
way they are, it's their jaw pressure, it's all those things. But they could have also been, another explanation, protecting the body.
I agree with what Bob says, because it just seems very unlikely that these dogs could attack a living human being. There'd be so much commotion, it would be almost unbelievable that somebody wouldn't hear it, nobody was passing by. Obviously, if she thought these dogs were anywhere near vicious, she wouldn't be in such a desolate area with them. So it just, a lot doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
we have questions and answers. Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks, guys. Bob, good to see you. Laura, thanks. Mike, good to see you. Let's check.